Speaking of your health, do you floss regularly?
You know, I do, but it's not my favorite thing to do when,
Do you brush your teeth?
No, who does? I think it's 2016 right now.
Well, there's news. According to the Associated Press, the government now admits that the effectiveness of flossing has never been researched and that you apparently don't have to floss every time after brushing.
So let's get into this with Dr. Stephen Glassman. He and his wife run a dental practice here in New York City. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so help us break this down. The federal government has recommended flossing since 1979. I actually remember, this is going to freak out people. Yes, I remember this big campaign in the late 70s to get young kids to floss in 79. And now you've got these dietary guidelines that have been issued for Americans every 5 years. So were you surprised by this?
I was shocked. We used to actually say, only floss those teeth you want to keep.
Oh, snap.
Okay? So, I mean, I'm practicing dentistry for 26 years. My wife is a dentist, was a hygienist. We see it in our patients every day. The ones that don't floss build up more inflammation between their teeth. Now remember, brushing alone and even some of the super duper electronic toothbrushes are really well removing plaque above the gum line and on these outer surfaces and the biting surface of the teeth. But it's in between that we can't really get to. You know, just think about this is that, you brought your car in, we're not going to go ahead and just wash the one side of the car, we're just going to wash the other sides of the car. So that plaque removal that's not being removed in between the teeth can lead to two of the major dental diseases, which is periodontal disease, gum disease. We see it with bleeding gums and cavities. So those are the two big ones, and it can develop with children as soon as their teeth come in as to older adults. Periodontal disease has also been shown to lead to cardiac disease, heart disease, and other things. So by saying that you don't need to floss to me is absolutely ridiculous.
And we should say the American Dental Association still stands by their recommendation that you've got to floss.
Yeah, I think what this article is talking about is, you go back enough and there weren't really double-blind scientific studies for a long period of time that support it, but it's like, we kind of know that, if all you do is eat chips and ice cream, it's not the best thing for you, right? So based upon, I think if you would ask any dentist around the country, or hygienists are very, very important in terms of educating patients and keeping their mouths healthy, is that you need to remove the plaque between the teeth, and flossing is the go-to item every day. It's the gold rule.
Can you use those little sticks though that that they have little bristles on them? It makes life easier.
Floor director Lena always has this on set. I just want you to know.
We have floss here.
You didn't know about this.
I did not know.
I grabbed the sandwich before I came out here, and I flossed before here, not just for the gum, but also for the cosmetics. The brushes, I think, are helpful. The picks are helpful, especially with some patients that can't manipulate floss. They do, in the article that I read, talked about floss the correct way. If you do not bend it the correct way, you can actually damage the gum.
Right,
so there is technique to it. And
I don't have the technique. That's the thing. every time I do it, it's like
So you just give up.
So I use those little sticks.
Oh, that's good.
You need to have something if you're not going to use floss, but to just ignore it is not really good.
Before you go, what about those water picks, the electric water picks that you put between your teeth? Does that work? That just
I think water picks is a good adjunct, and some patients with implants, I recommend it to dislodge the food. Because as you get older, people are living now into their 90s and they have dental work in their mouth, and it's not always easy. And plus, they don't have the dexterity to do the floss. So we need plus kids who have braces, right? You can't floss with braces, so that's where the picks come in, and all these other things come in.
Mine's been collecting dust, an electric one, but I'm going to undust it,
expensive bauble,
use it, or I might let you have it. I've never used it before.
Most offices give away the floss, so there's no real profit incentive to do it. We want people to floss because we really believe in it.
And at CBSN, we always have it on set, so there's no excuse for anyone in the newsroom not to floss. So.
Dr. Stephen Glassman, thanks so much for stopping by.
My pleasure. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.